So what really happens behind the scenes of extreme wealth and doing good? Well, our next guest writes about just that with humor, heart, and a whole lot of honesty. Alisha Fernandez Miranda is the author of Someone's Gotta Give, and she's here to tell us more about her book. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this book sounds so interesting. So give us, without giving any spoilers, what is it about?
So Someone's Gotta Give tells the story of Lucia. She is an American, a lifelong fundraiser, and she falls head over heels in love with a British man. So at the beginning of the book, she's a new mom, a new expat, and a new wife, and she's seeking her purpose. And so she gets a job as a philanthropic advisor, helping rich people give their money away at London's poshest private bank. And she has to figure out how to navigate that world and keep her wits about her as well.
Yeah, this is a world that a lot of us don't know much about, but I think you do, right? So does the book from personal experience, because I saw a picture of you with King Charles. So what's that all about?
Yeah, so I mean, it is a novel, but for the last 20 years, I have worked as a philanthropic advisor. I run my own consulting business, and also I've worked in a big bank. So I understand a lot about what it's like to work with people at that level and help them figure out how they can do more good and create an impact. And you do sometimes get to go to Buckingham Palace for an event now and then.
Yeah, so what was that like? Was he nice?
He was very nice. It's very kind of regimented. There's like specific times for everything that you get to do, and you have a few minutes, and there's a lot of manners, and you're supposed to curtsy. And,
oh gosh.
So there's like a lot of rules to remember.
I would mess it up. So what are some of the themes in this book that you want to talk about today?
The book is a lot about there's a lot in there about being a new mom, which for me was a really transformative experience, and figuring out how to balance motherhood and ambition. And when you kind of have this amazing experience of having a child and then also want to do the thing that lights you up inside and is your purpose. And there's a lot in there about what it really means to do good and some of the differences between meaning well and doing good, and how you can do good in the world that I think people will really enjoy.
What do people miss? They want to do good, but they kind of miss the mark.
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
I think that people focus so much a lot of the time on who to give to. There are so many amazing nonprofits out there that are very deserving and have huge impact, but the way you give, the how you give is really important too. So things like giving unrestricted funding. Don't always tell the nonprofit how they should spend the money. Find an organization you trust and let them spend it themselves. That's a very good piece of advice.
Yeah. Okay, so this is actually your second book, but your first novel, and that's Someone's Gotta Give. But your first book, what was that about?
My first baby. So my What If Year is a memoir, and it is a little bit of how I came into writing, but I decided to take a year off from this crazy philanthropy world and go do internships at all the jobs I dreamt of when I was a kid. So I worked on Broadway, I worked for a contemporary art dealer, I worked in a hotel in Scotland, and I worked as a virtual intern during COVID for a retro dance and fitness company from my living room.
That's amazing. And so you took all that and you wrote a book.
Yeah, I just had this incredible year, and then I started writing about it, and I found that I loved writing, and so I'll keep doing it as long as they let me.
Yeah, so this was your second book, and then is there something in the pipeline?
I have a novel right now that's on submission, so I'm hoping it's gonna get picked up by another publishing house, and it takes place in Miami, which is where I'm from originally, so I love it so much. Lots of the same things, fun, funny, and just really about what it's like to be a person and a woman in this crazy world.
Yes, and so you grew up in Miami, but you live in Scotland now with your family, so what is that like?
Yeah, it's like the fog y'all had this morning, but every day.
Right, yeah.
It's incredible. I love living in Scotland. I've been an expat since 2008, so, but it's really nice to come back to Florida in January, I have to say.
Yeah, so you took all that experience, and that's part of it is in this book as well.
So, yeah, so it's a lot also about what it means. Lucia, my main character, she's a Latina. She moves to the UK. There's all of these rules she doesn't understand. She's in these environments she's never been in before, and no one tells her what to do, so she has to figure out how to navigate that herself.
Are you kind of jealous of Lucia? Do you think that's a fun life?
It was fun to go back and remember what it was like when I first moved, and how intimidating it felt sometimes to be in some of these environments. Now I've been there for so long that it's like, oh, well, we're just going to go do this crazy thing again, but it was really, really fun. And I think it's a world people don't know about, but that exists all around us, and so I had a lot of fun writing about it.
Yeah, well, this is a great way to get a taste of it, is to read your book. So I know you have a book signing coming up, and where is that?
I will be at Steamy Lit on Friday with Kristen Wallet, another local author, and I cannot wait to meet folks in Tampa. I've had the best trip here so far, so you can come and see me, chat, and talk about the book.
Yeah, and where can we get your book? Anywhere books are sold?
Everywhere books are sold. I'd love you to shop at your local independent bookstore if you can. can.
And you have a website?
I have a website. I'm on Instagram. It's like impossible not to find me if you really go looking.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Good luck with the book.
Thank you for having me.